up, everybody? It's that time. It's What the Fuck Tuesday. Gotta rearrange my camera here. Hmm. Okay, there we go. Yes, it's Tuesday. It's that time of the week when we get together and talk mucho shitato about everybody and people sending their crazy letters. First of all, I have to give a shout out, a thank you note, a thank you gift. I mean, a thank you rather for a gift I received from Tamisha Wade. Well, actually, she sent me two things, but the I left the the stir sticks that go in tea. It's like this lemon honey sticks that you put in the tea. Oh my God, I've been wearing those things out. And then she gave me a new glass for my wine. Excuse my nails. I couldn't find no nail polish remover and I jacked them up. But it says wine aerobics on the front. It says wine aerobics and it shows one of these um, like a corkscrew, oops, like a corkscrew. Like first the arms are like this, right? Then it's like this, and then it's like this. So it's like you're doing aerobics, and it's the cutest thing. So this is my new glass that I will be enjoying my wine in during the show, and I want to say thank you. That was so sweet. I was cracking up when I saw this. You ready to be school? Well, let me get a swig first. I'm like Popeye. This is my spinach. Isn't that cute? I'm like, oh. Yeah, I was loving it. So thank you to Leisha Wade. I I really like my little surprise that you sent me. Thank you. Yeah, it was very sweet. So let's get started because I know we got a lot to do as usual, and you know how long-winded I tend to be. This show is What the Fuck Tuesday. In case you just wandered in, you just saw a live stream, or you just popped in. What we do here every Tuesday is relationship advice live. People send in letters in advance, and my cousin puts them into a document for me. I read them on the air and respond to them off the cuff. This is not a rehearsed show at all. And the fun part is, I hear the question when you hear the question. So it is truly like, just like off the cuff kind of situation. It's been a long time since you caught a live. Well, you caught a good one, I'm sure. What the Fuck Tuesday is always a good show to catch. All right, this is question number one of 23. We got 23 questions today. 23. Oh. Okay, question number one. Male, 21 to 26 from Alberta, Canada. My girlfriend, who is 20 years old, has asked to scroll through my phone a few times and I've always refused. I'm not cheating on her. I just value my privacy and have a lot of things I don't want to share with her on there, photos, notes, etc. My phone is like my own little private diary. Is letting her scroll through my phone and vice versa a necessary part of the relationship? No, 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 no. I firmly disagree with that. I mean, I know some people who feel like, well, if you don't have anything to hide, it shouldn't be a big deal. It doesn't matter if you have anything to hide. It's yours, and it's yours to decide with and when you want to share those thoughts with anybody. Just because you're dating someone, that doesn't make them entitled to every single thing there is to know about you. And you don't say how long you guys have been dating either. And seeing as how you're that young, I doubt you on the track to marriage. So there would be no reason for her to be scrolling through your phone. That's just sheer and plain insecurity and or nosiness. You keep up your boundaries, and ladies, that goes for you too. If you have a man who's asking you to do that, you don't let people. They don't need to be scrolling through your phone for what? Just being nosy. And I don't know. I just feel like, you have to have some kind of boundaries up where you carve out space for yourself. You have your own friends. You have your own phone thing. You have your own social media accounts. You take a bath when it's time. You close the door, lock the door, have your candles, music, whatever. Nobody's to interfere with that. You have to carve out space for you to be a separate person apart from your partner. And they should understand that. You were separate before you saw their face. You're going to be separate when they gone. And, they just have to deal with it. Yeah, she just yeah, she a little control freak, but this kind of thing. Sometimes these people have insecurities from other situations, and they bring them this baggage. They bring it with them to the new relationship. Well, because my other boyfriend cheated on me, you might cheat on me, so I want to see in your phone. Well, I ain't that. Look at this face right here. That's why I tell dudes that try that run game on me. Okay, look at my face. Who you looking at? And then they just look confused. It's like, okay, well, if I'm not that bitch, then you don't have to no conversation with me about what somebody else did to you. That's irrelevant to me. Had nothing to do with me. And so this is how we gonna run this relationship. And if you don't like it, then maybe you need to go back over there. Yeah, I don't like that. Now, you know what? I would even not let her scroll through my phone. I would put a lock on my phone requiring not only my fingerprint, but a 6-digit passcode. So even if she tried to be slick while I was asleep and put my finger on the thing to think she was going to release it, it still needs the passcode number. And yet still ain't looking at my phone. Even if I'm asleep, even if I'm dead, you still not looking at my phone. So that's how I do people like that. I have 8 digits on mine. Even though it's nothing really on it, but I just like, to mess with people. Because the dudes see you doing all that, they get curious and they want to know what's in your phone, and then that's when the fun begins. So let's move on. Question number 2. Female, 26 to 29, out of Florida. I'm a single mom of 2 children, a 9-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy. My daughter has had frequent sleepovers at my aunt's home over the years with her girls' cousins who are now 13 and 16. So 13, 16, and 9. My son has not yet been a part of these sleepovers, but since he was about 3 days old, my aunt has been begging to have him sleep over. I've always just said no and told her it was because I was nursing. That's kind of odd. A 3-day-old baby, you want him to sleep at your house? Well, now that my son is no longer nursing, my aunt is pushing for sleepovers once it is safe again with this whole pandemic thing. The problem is that my aunt has been dating this guy since last fall, and I do not like him at all. Oh, 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 oh boy. My aunt has a medical condition that significantly impacts her life, so she's scared to be alone. As soon as she stops seeing someone, she's in another relationship within a month. This is exactly what happened in the fall. I am leery of this guy because he tries so hard to look so perfect. Literally bought her flowers and other gifts every day for months and just had this vibe like he's really trying hard for everyone to like him. My aunt recently moved him in. One reason I don't feel comfortable around him is because he grabbed my son's hand once really roughly when he was about 8 months old and was smacking my face during dinner. And he's still living? I was upset, but other family members told me I was overreacting. He was, quote, just trying to help me. But the problem was he said nothing when he did it. He wasn't even looking at me or my son. Just grabbed my son's arm and pulled it really far back behind him and held it there. Okay, let me finish reading the question. Another thing that I find weird is when they were together maybe a month, he was allowing his 3-year-old granddaughter to sleep over in my aunt's bed and sleeping between the 2 adults and allowing the granddaughter to call my aunt grandma. The whole situation is extremely weird and uncomfortable. I want to be honest that I don't trust him around my kids alone, but I don't know how to tell her when she asks. I just have trouble putting into words that my family can't twist around calling me irrational. I'm going to have many attacking phone calls after this confrontation. I guess it's easy to say stick to your guns, and that's what I say goes as I'm the mom, but that is hard to do when you've been emotionally and mentally manipulated by a group of 50 or so people for 28 years. I am sure she will also say something like, well, I trust and be around my children, so you do not trust me, or turn it around on her in some way. So how do I address it when she starts being manipulated? Okay, ooh, this letter's making me itch. What in the world are you thinking? You their mother. It is your fucking job to protect them and not give a fuck about what nobody thinks about it. Somebody put in when my daughter was 8 months old, you touch her in any kind of way that looks to me like you trying to hurt her, I'm going to pick up the nearest blunt object and your brains is going to be splattered on the wall. That motherfucker, and then he's going to be start smacking you in the face and you just sitting there. This motherfucker is grooming the whole family. That's what he's doing. And who has a 3-year-old in the bed when there's a 13 and 16-year-old girl right down the hall? She could have slept in the room with them. Your aunt is stupid. That's what I'm going to tell you. And because your aunt is stupid, don't you be. This is what you do. I want you to practice this and I want you to say it every day in the mirror until it rolls off your tongue. You're going to say, Auntie, my daughter's never coming to spend the night at your house as long as this man is there. And she's going to say, why? And you're going to say, because he's a weirdo and a freak. There's nothing normal about a man pulling an 8-month-old baby's arm, slapping me in the face, or trying to sleep in the bed with a 3-year-old girl when she could have slept in the room with the other girls. There's something's wrong with this dude. I don't like him. I don't want him around my children. And I'm telling you now, if we are here and he does anything like what he did before, I'm going to call the police after I beat his ass. And then you got to think about it. You got to think about it. If you see someone hurting your child, why did you not get on his ass? Why were you more afraid about what everybody was going to think and say than you were in protecting your less than 1 year old baby? There's something wrong with you. And you sit up here talking about, oh, I'm so worried. They're going to be talking to me. They're going to be, I'm going to be getting calls. I'm going to be listening. And in the meantime, if you give in, your kid's going to be all fucked up for life while you worried about how somebody talks to you. You are pissing me off really right now. I know a lot of advice columnists. Thank you, Leandra. A lot of advice columnists would be trying to pussyfoot around this and tell you, well, yes, you've grown up in this environment and it's so hard to find your voice and all this old shit here. I don't care about that. If you didn't have a voice, your best bitch ass shouldn't have been having no kids because that's what you need to do. When you have babies, you better turn into a mother bear. And you fend off any and everybody, even their own daddy, who tries to do stuff to hurt them. You are like a lioness. You pounce and you go for the kill. So this here, you better tell your bitch ass aunt that the answer is no. It's gonna stay no. You don't give a fuck, no. And a whole bunch of other ways you can say no. Look at my video on how to say no. It's on this channel. Take some hints. Practice saying no. Find your voice and your strength and protect your damn kids. This is fucking ridiculous. I'm going to have attacking phone calls after this. And you don't know how to hang up? You don't know how to say fuck you and hang up the phone? These are my goddamn kids. I fuck you. Kiss my ass. Stuff like that. You don't know how to say stuff like that to your family? I bet you say that a couple of times. The rest of them will pipe right down and be quiet. And they won't say shit else to you because they'll be getting a piece too. Man, this is the time thanks, Angelica. This is the time when I wish I could jump into somebody's body right quick. I'd have your auntie straight real quick. I trust them. Yeah, but you're stupid and desperate. So I mean, that's no kind of supportive. What they call it, testimonial. Let's read. Let's move on to letter number 3. This is from a female, 21 to 26, out of Seattle. Ooh, that got me hot. My male friend, we'll call him, quote, Frank, and I got into this topic tonight where he made the comment that he doesn't mind people being gay, but he wouldn't be friends with gay people. This is due to the fact that the few interactions he had with gay people were gay men hitting on him at a nightclub. I tried to explain to him a few things. Number one, a nightclub is a breeding grounds for that kind of stuff. That's like a woman getting upset for being hit on at a nightclub. The environment typically invites this kind of behavior. And number two, you can't lump together, based on these few interactions, that all gay men will hit on you. You being okay with them being gay but not wanting to be their friend based on their sexual orientation is homophobic, she says. I was taken aback because he seems to be a pretty open person and laid back about how others choose to live their lives. He's also mentioned that in his culture, he's Muslim. He's had very few interactions with gay men. I tried to put a different perspective and asked him how would he feel if I told him I couldn't be friends with him because he's Muslim. I'm Christian. He tried to justify this by asking if my experience with Muslim people has been good or bad, and I told him they've been good. Frank goes on to say something along the lines of, since I've had good experiences, I would have no reason to not want to be friends with Muslims, unlike himself, where he's had bad experiences from gay men hitting on him, and therefore he doesn't want to be friends with them. I try to explain that although they may have been unwanted experience, that doesn't mean all gay people will try to hit them. And by choosing all gay men, closing all gay men off to your friendship, you don't even give someone who's gay the chance to be your friend and possibly help fill your life with meaningful, fun moments and help you open up to different realities that you weren't exposed to growing up in your culture. He also argued that not wanting to be friends with gay people is the same as me not wanting to date someone who smokes cigarettes. That is just each other's preferences. And yes, I'm fully aware that gay men can just say, why the hell would you want to be friends with him anyway? But it's more about helping undo this engraved societal homophobia and spread love and acceptance towards each other without conditions. I'm just really disappointed and at a loss for words for something that seems so clear to me while shutting an entire group of people out based on sexual orientation is wrong and unkind. My impression of him is a loving person open to all walks of life, so I was really put off to know that this is a belief of his. What should I do? Look, Karen, Becky, whatever the fuck your name is going to be today, mind your goddamn business. Who this young man wants to have in his social circle with a dick, that's his business. You don't get to see. This is the thing that gets on my nerves about white girls, and this happens all the time. Y'all want to think that because you think something, that everybody has to agree with you, that everybody has to make the choices that you make, and everybody has to see things through your lens. He's a man of color. He's a male, and he's a man of color, and he's a different religion than you. Okay, his culture is different from you. Everything about him is not you. So if he decides he don't want to be friends with a gay man, that's his fucking business. Okay? I mean, I don't understand why you trying to press this point so hard. Why you parading up there caping for some dude you don't even fucking know and trying to jam that shit down his throat? That's extremely disrespectful, and that's the shit that they always do. You think because you white, you right. And I say that shit and it gets on my goddamn nerves. That's the same shit they come in my channel with that bullshit. Trying to tell me what to say and how to think and all that stuff. I'm like, bitch, go take your ass on over to some channel where somebody gives a fuck what you think, because that's not here. Okay? I'm the one who decides what goes on this channel, not you. And if this young man doesn't want to be dealing with anybody who's got a sexual orientation that's not to his liking, he has that right. And you don't have any right to label it anything or to look at him any kind of sideways. And you're going to talk about somebody being tolerant, why don't you try that dress on for a minute? You anything but sitting up here reading him and trying to tell him all about himself and what he needs to do and all these different explanations and excuses and dramatizations. Leave that boy the fuck alone. And if you can't be friends with him, then just shut your pie hole and go walk on the way and leave him alone. You know, people choose who they want to be friends with, not you. Some fucking bullshit. I'm just saying that shit. That's my entire life that has happened every time I get around. You know, like I think the white girls who come here have a little bit more sense. You know, they got more sense, so we don't have that problem. But these are these ones who, you know, just have this little entitled attitude. Like, well, if I think it, then that's the way that it should be. And I'd be like, give you the middle finger and tell you to kiss my ass, my black ass, as a matter of fact. You don't get to decide what nobody else does, likes, wants, lives, the way they live their life, who their friends are, what they eat, what they drink, what they say. Nothing. It's not your business. Mind yours. That should be getting me hot too. God damn it. We only a couple of letters in and I'm already on fire. I was ah. But yeah, I was like, she can't fucking think for herself. I mean, the man don't want to be how you gonna be friends with somebody who's gonna be looking at you all kind of like you a tasty snack? It's the same with women. You don't want to be friends with some woman who's gonna be looking at you and trying to hit on you all the time and trying to look at your boobs and the stuff all the time. You don't want to be bothered with that stuff. But I think women have more respect. Take a swig. You right, huh, Ash? Out of my new glass. This shit gets on my nerves. And they always talking about tolerance and, you know, everybody should love everybody. But that only extends to when you doing something that they like, then they all for it. As soon as you do something you don't like, that they don't like, then suddenly they're going to call you all kind of names. Okay, let's move on. Question 4, female 21 to 26. Says no location provided. My boyfriend and I are both 25, and we have been together for 1+ years. A couple of days ago, he told me that he's been thinking about things for a while, and he doesn't see himself settling down ever. No marriage and no kids. He previously said he wanted to settle down late, maybe in his mid-30s, and I was agreeable with that because it didn't seem like that big of a deal. This, however, I don't think I could be with someone and never get married ever. I've always wanted to start a family of my own, and I view marriage as the ultimate level of commitment to each other. So I'm struggling to grasp this concept that maybe marriage isn't necessary and neither are children. I can understand to a certain extent, but I don't think I'll ever stop hoping to get married. My boyfriend says he doesn't want to drag me through the mud. We've been apart for more than a month now because of the mandatory orders that disallow us from meeting people outside of the family. I live with my parents. It's going to be at least another 2 weeks before I can see him again, and I don't think I'll change my mind during this period. I've been crying a lot and trying to act like things are normal. I love my boyfriend, but this is a difference that is hard to overcome. I could try to pretend marriage doesn't matter to me, but it does. And I don't know if he'll change his mind if I stick around. He himself said he might never change his mind. I've tried to persuade him and see if we could compromise, but there doesn't seem to be a solution to this. I'm almost certain I want to break up with him, but I want to do it face to face if possible. I've decided to wait it out just a little more and think things through during this period of time. I know the situation is exactly the best, but since I've spent almost 2 years with him, I want to talk to face and break up if need be. Is that the right decision? No, he's already told you what time it is. You just don't want to listen. You just trying to pretend like you got some thought thinking to do. The man done straight told you, I don't want no kids. And he's trying to be delicate. I don't think I might ever want them. I don't want to get married. Now, those are things that you said that you want that are important to you, right? He's not going to give you those things. He's flatly told you he's no interest in those things. You know what happened? Even if he was interested at first, after dating you for a year and a half, now he decided he don't want to marry you. And that's nothing to be upset about because that's why we date. We date in order to get to know each other and find a good fit. And if it works, we keep going forward. If it doesn't, we turn left and he goes left, you go right. And then y'all start all over again. That's what dating is. You don't try to force somebody. You up there trying to negotiate and see if you can get them to change your mind and stuff. So you just more that Karen and Becky shit again. Because you want it. You want everybody to want it. And it doesn't work like that. He's got his own mind. He has a right to choose what he wants for his life, which is not a wife and not a bunch of snot-nosed kids. It's more than the notion to be somebody's parent. Hey, lady boss, I'm up here running my mouth and forgot to say hi. But this is the thing. You can wait till the thing is over and say it to face if you want to, but ain't shit gonna change because you wait 2 weeks and or a month and then say it face to face. All you doing is prolonging the inevitable. Cut ties now and start your healing process. This relationship is over. Okay, it's over. Accept it. Question number 5, male, 26 to 29, Austin, Texas. Seeing a young lady for close to a month. Started out once weekly, currently about twice weekly. Lots of eggplant, very passionate, shared interests, etc. I dig her quite a bit. I need to be cautious, however, and he put dot, dot, dot. Our second date, she told me she was married at 20, but has been separated for a few years. It's not a big deal, I figured. I don't care if a girl is married, as long as she isn't still married. Dot, dot, dot. Only recently did she finally reveal that she is, in fact, still married but legally separated. Has been for some time now, multiple years. However, the key word there is multiple years. That's 2 words, homeboy. Why not split altogether? She made reasons about him being difficult. Her family still wanted to be part of their family. A lot of bullshit. She's very open about the details of her past relationship and why it was bad. Addictions, gambling, turned out to be someone different, lying and deceit. I plan to just ask her if she had a plan or timeline, or else I just have to be out. I don't want to be second fiddle to a married girl's man. Even if they have been apart for a good amount of time, they're still together. What are your thoughts? I'd be pretty damn happy if she wasn't freaking married. Well, she is. And you only been seeing her for close to a month. So, first once a week, now twice a week. So probably 8, 9 times. Lots of eggplant already. So, are you talking about you need to be cautious? Dude, you threw caution to the wind a long time ago. So, you doing stuff backwards. You've had to sit around and talked about this and found this out before you started eggplanting her and getting your feelings involved. You wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't need to be writing this letter. So you like all that passion and all that old stuff. And that's what got you hooked. And now you thinking of a girl, long term and stuff. So you can keep tapping that ass. That's what you want to do. But as you so wisely pointed out, Even though they're separated, she is still legally married, and under the law and every other way, she's still his wife. And so you don't want to get your feelings more involved. You do need to cut it off. There's no point in asking her if she has a plan or anything else because she would already executed it, don't you think? For some reason, it's comfortable for her to be still married to this man. There may be money involved. We don't know. But whatever's her reason, she don't seem to be in any big hurry to break it off. So that should tell you what all you need to know. That's it. They say, I've been separated for 2 years. I mean, it takes a year to get a divorce, okay? 6 months to a year, depending on what state you're in. So somebody says, I've been separated for a year. They have to work out custody agreements and alimony, child support, sell the house, sell property, sell cars. I mean, there's work to be done and it does take time. So if someone says they've been separated for a year, but these certain steps have been taken, you can keep them on the back burner, but you can still keep them in your circle. If they been separated for a year, two, three, and ain't shit happened, no moves have been made to separate anything, they're still hanging on to hope that they get back together. And you would just be something to do while they waited for it. Question number 6. Husband, I'm a 27-year-old having a high risk pregnancy. I am 13 weeks. I had a previous miscarriage in November. Me and my husband were having a fight about what I consider normal everyday disagreement about a misplaced debit card. The fight escalated to him saying he hopes the baby dies, and if it don't, that he doesn't want to be a part of the baby's life. This hurt me to the core. I couldn't believe he said such cruel things, especially seeing the pain I went through in November and knowing that I am high risk. The next day he apologized and I tried to forgive him, but a week has passed now and I just don't think I can. So what I want to know is, do you think this is something I can work through with him, being that our relationship isn't usually this bad? If we do split, should I even allow him to be a part of this child's life? What would you do? Well, I mean, he's the father and you married, so you can't prevent him from doing shit. I don't know what you get off with that. Should I prevent him from being a part of the child's life? That shit'll get you thrown into jail. So just lose that. Lose that thought. Because he hurt your damn feelings. You don't have no right to keep a man from his child or even to try to. If he's not abusing the child in some way, shape, or form, then you step back and let them have a relationship and stop being stupid. Now, as far as how he says these cruel things to me, which you since you got a baby on the way, it would be good to present it, say, well, I think we need to have some counseling because you expressed some feelings there that are very harsh and cruel, and I want to know where they're coming from. Because and the reason why you would want to do that, let me tell you, it is very important. You don't want a split in a situation like this because you'll always have doubts. You're always in the be back of your mind wondering, well, what if I had given it another chance? What if he really didn't mean it? What if he really was sorry? What if I was just too on the trigger to do it too quickly and this and that, blah, blah. I didn't really give him a chance. You'll start going through that dragon drama. Whereas if you have therapy and you talk this out, you're going to get to see that he really meant it, that he really is a little fucker, and that he says crazy shit to people, and that he would be saying crazy shit to you whenever he felt like it because he's a crazy little fucker. In which case, you don't want to be married to a crazy little fucker. So then you feel good, you feel solid, you got that magical closure y'all be looking for, that leaving him would be the right thing to do, and you can go on with peace of mind. So that's why I say, yes, most like people would say, yes, you should leave him, leave him, leave him. I'm going to be cautious. You're pregnant. You got one new baby. You got a baby. You guys got a lot of history there. We don't know how he grieved about the miscarriage. There's a lot of moving parts here that I really haven't really been addressed in this letter, but I know that are there, emotional pain in both of you. So you need to go and y'all need to have a couple of sessions with a counselor. It may not take that many, but just talk about, what you feel about that situation that happened in November. How it impacts you now. He's probably scared that this something's gonna happen to it. I mean, so he's coming out with this, hoping the baby dies because he's afraid it's going to die. You see what I mean? So men are stupid like that, and they just have a real hard time just being vulnerable and saying what their fears are. So they would rather express it in some really fucked up way. But this is a situation where you guys are very young. I don't think you really have the tools to really deal with this emotional devastation that you went through. And I think that would be the best move for you to make. Sure, do you working? You got some health insurance where you can get, usually they do a thing where you get 3 sessions for like free or something, maybe $10 or something. Something real low cost. And then if you want more after that, then you have to start paying a little bit more money. But sign up for them 3, and y'all get in there and do some talking. Question number 7. Female 37 to 45 out of Buffalo. I'm not sure how to handle this as it's not something I've dealt with before. I've been involved with a man that is in an open relationship, a legitimate one, not a married man pretending to be open. Just to clarify, I spoke to his wife and she does her own thing as well. Well, isn't this a hot mess? We have been dating for 18 months, and it was during this time I was going through a divorce myself. So I guess I was naive in a way, and also what he was offering suited me as I was really not emotionally available for a relationship anyway. I've called off things with this guy several times, but he always seems to convince me to keep up the contact, and then we resume things as normal. I don't have good family support. My childhood was not a good one. I have close friends, but no one that is really there for me like family or a partner would be. This man has been there and takes this role happily. I feel like a bit like that aunt or uncle that bends over backward to give you things that you need. Through the COVID crisis, we haven't been able to see each other, and to be honest, I haven't missed him. I found his constant texting and wanted to talk to be something I do not really feel like doing. Okay. So she rings him, tells him that the relationship's no longer working. I don't want to date anybody. He wasn't happy. He felt that he didn't have to fight. There was no need to break up. I told him I don't want to be in any type of relationship at all, but when he do, I feel deserve more than being somebody else's husband. He kept arguing the point. I told him I felt he wasn't listening to what I'm saying, that I appreciate him, but I felt it was time to move on. He had shown up to my house twice. The second time was after he asked to come over to watch a movie with me, and I said no. He showed up anyway. I'm now dismayed to have found myself talked into being friends only. He told me the eggplant wasn't important. He just could not bear to not have me in his life. He just keeps talking to me, and I somehow shift my boundaries. I feel down today because after being happy that I broke it off, he just keeps texting good morning, good night text. I don't reply, but he keeps texting them. Finally, if I don't reply, he turns up on my doorstep even though he lives over an hour away. We are in our mid 40s, Deb. God damn. I'm sorry for the long letter. I know you hate these. You right. I feel cruel if I block him, and then I think maybe I'm being harsh if I ignore his let's just be friends. I've never had a guy that is this hard to call things off with. He just keeps texting and calling and showing up, and then I feel obligated to talk to him if he's on my doorstep after driving for 1.5 hours. Should I just be grateful that someone just wanted to be there for me? No, you ought to grow a fucking spine. You guys, you're just weak as a fucking marshmallow. And to be in your mid 40s, this is a very poor excuse for womanhood. First of all, you done told the motherfucker you don't want to be with him. So why are you letting him in? Why are you taking his phone calls? See, your words are not backed up by your actions. And that is the weak shit that makes men know that women can be manipulated real easy because they always give in. All they do is put a little bit of pressure on you and you fold up like a bad poker hand. She's just so weak, it's not even funny. That's why he's doing this to you. See, me, like, you show up at my house and be tap dancing around some fucking bullets because I told you to stay away from here. You coming to my house anyway. See, now I'm taking that as a threat and I'm going to shoot you. That's just the way it's gonna be. Then he come up at your house and you feel sorry for him because he drove 1.5 miles. Did somebody tell him to drive 1.5 miles? He chose to do that. So guess what? He can drive 1.5 miles hours back. Nobody told him that he was not invited. So you don't invite somebody to your house, you don't let them in, you don't even open the door. You look out, you see who it is, and you go and sit back down. If they keep bamming on the door, you call the police and say, there's a man I don't want to talk to bamming on my door. Can you come and make him leave? And they'll do it. Say, I feel threatened. He's stalking me. He drove an hour and a half to get here after I told him I don't want to see him anymore. Can you come and remove him? I would be wearing his ass out. He wouldn't want to be at my house. Whew. Talked into being friends only. You don't need to be talked into doing anything. God, you're weak. You don't want to be friends with him. I don't want to be friends with your fucking ass. I can't stand you. I don't want anything to do with you. You stink and you're ugly and you're stupid. Because you don't know how to, you can't understand. I don't want to be with you. You need sign language. What you need, motherfucker? A smoke signal? A carrier pigeon? What you need for you to understand what I'm telling you is over. Don't bother me. Leave me alone. And then change your number. Shit, why are you so attached to that number? Just change it. Get you a Google number. That's what you need. Question number 8. Should I be grateful that someone is waiting there for me? You wrote the wrong person. You thought I was going to say yes to that shit. Question number 8. Female 226 out of Memphis. I'm trying to tell you, Tiana, people show up at my house, I just be looking at them, peeping out the window. And you ain't getting in. I didn't invite you. All right, let's see here. Question number 8. Wait, didn't I say 8? Did I these or did I say the wrong thing? Oh, that was 7. Okay, now we're on 8. God, I'm confusing myself. Female, 21 to 26 out of Memphis. My question is, why would a man talk about certain women from his past in a new relationship? How this or how that? Is this because they are insecure with low self-esteem to gain control over their new girlfriend to make her insecure? What is the point exactly? Triangulation? I find it childish and immature. I really need to know the reason for this because it's just dumb. Why you need to know the reason? Actually, didn't I do a video on this? Yeah, and it's like I said, if he talk about some bitch, that means he's thinking about some bitch. And the main thing is with men, they want to try to impress you with their prowess and all the women that they could get. Instead, when they keep talking about all the women that they used to have, it makes them sound stupid. It's like you used to have all these women, but they left your ass. So I mean, you really shouldn't be trying to brag about that, because men who are good men, their women don't leave them. Their women are happy to be with them. They're proud to be with them. Your women leave you. So what does that tell you? That means you ain't shit. So you really should stop telling people that. You should stop talking about other women from your past and pretend like you're a virgin and you've never met anyone before me. That would be your best bet. And, they try to make you jealous and make you feel like you're in competition with well, she did this and she did that. So you want to make sure you don't act like that, or you want to try to run one up her. That's that game. But you'll be playing that game with him. Just say, nigga, you know what? Every time you talk about another bitch, I'm gonna charge you $20. You already owe me 100. Give it. And then if you don't give it to you, then get out. And say, well, this relationship is over then. Because, that's my listening to you talk about a bitch fee. And it's $20 per a pop. So every time you fix your lips to talk about some dumb bitch, it's gonna be $20. And that's just how it is gonna be. So you don't like that, you don't want to be giving up no $20, then I suggest you stop talking about stupid bitches from your past. I'm just saying. It just don't make no sense to be having your nerves worked. At least you're gonna get your nerves worked, get paid for it. Then at the end of the conversation, when he done talked about 10 bitches, you got $200, you could go shopping. You and your girls go out to dinner on his money. Go to a fancy place. Put on your cute clothes. Get your hair did. And go out and spend his money. And show him and take some pictures. Eating the food, having a good time on his money. Yeah, $20. $20 a pop. I don't know, but there has to be some kind of way to get them, because you're talking to them and asking them to stop. That never works. You have to do something that's going to make them go, and then they'll stop. So I like to come up with stupid stuff. But that's just how my mind works. I'm crazy, right? So if you ever want an idea about something crazy to do, just write me. I'm sure I'm full of ideas. Same thing, that's hit or miss. Crazy stuff, I got you. I got you, girl. Question number 9, male, 30 to 36 out of the UK. I've long known that I was mentally unwell, but only recently sought professional treatment about it. due to a psychotic episode which involved self harm. After a decade and a half of denial, I've accepted that I was functionally depressed, probably have a personality disorder, and bipolar tendencies. In other words, you're not dateable. Now that I'm adjusting to this new reality, I'm seriously concerned about how this will affect my interactions with women. Like the majority of people, I need emotional and physical affection and validation. It was already an issue because I was and still am locked in a vicious cycle of isolation, loneliness, self hatred, and depression. I don't feel the depression is as intensely as before thanks to being prescribed medication. It dulls the highs and the lows. So, to summarize my current foibles, I don't know how to approach the dating scene now that I've accepted the fact that I'm mentally ill. I thought I was damaged goods before getting help, but now that it's official, I feel like I'm obliged to tell new dates about my issues, which will probably chase off anyone even remotely interested in me. It doesn't help that I'm flat broke, have poor career prospects, a learning disability, and hate myself. Plus, COVID 19 has everybody distanced now. That's true. Now that I'm medicated, I feel I'm not who I used to be. My brain chemistry has changed, so I react differently to certain stimuli. Stuff that used to bother me before doesn't anymore. My life plans have changed drastically. I feel like dating someone would be unintentional deception on my part because one day the meds might stop working and I'll revert back to the twisted old me. What should I do? First letter, 4 letters. Second word, 8 letters. That's all I got to say. Because you can't date nobody. Nobody. You would be flipping out on somebody and, you're the wrong woman. You might end up dead. Or because then if you flip out on her, her daddy or her brothers or something is going to come and beat your ass. You might end up dead. Um, this is a situation, you broke, you don't have no money, so you can't date when you don't have no money, homeboy. You don't have no, you have poor career prospects. That means, it's going to be a struggle for you to get over. Thanks, Lakeisha. So for you to move on. And then you don't even like yourself. So if you don't like yourself, why do you think anybody else would? This is a really sad situation. I don't know if you have the ability, since, you don't have any money, to get some kind of free therapy through your social services, county, city government, or something like that. But it sounds like that would be something for you to do. And sometimes they even have, job training programs for people that have special learning disabilities and stuff. My little cousin went through a program, and he has a part-time job working as a janitor at Clorox. So it was cool because through his hiccup, we was able to get some bleach when nobody else could get none. I have 2 gallon jugs of Clorox bleach in my storage unit. So ain't no Rona in my house. Okay, my house smell like you bet your nostrils be burning, but you ain't gonna worry about getting no Rona. Not up in here. So there's and he's got like a speech impediment, and his processing is like I don't know, maybe somebody about 12, maybe 12, 13, maybe. Um, great person. He's nothing wrong with him there, personality wise. He says crazy stuff sometimes, but as far as like how he treats people generally, he's a nice little guy and stuff. And he can if he can get a job, then you have no excuse. But you got to do something about your issues here. This vicious cycle of isolation, loneliness, self hatred, and depression. No, that ain't gonna work. You better get you some therapy. Find a source somewhere. Maybe a group therapy, something to start getting you on a different track. Question number 10, female, 26 to 29, out of Huntington Beach, California. Oh, that's near LA. So I'm wondering if it's just that I was raised with extreme proper etiquette, which makes me go overboard. My fiance and I drove to Arizona from Cali today because he wants to look at investment property. He asked whether I wanted to come, and I said because of COVID, I wouldn't feel comfortable staying at his parents' house, so we agreed to stay in a hotel. Then I told him I was going to wash my clothes. He says, "You can wash them at my parents' house if you like." I said, "No, it's fine. I'll just wash them here." He had a strange expression. I later told him the reason behind it is I don't think it would be rude to bring my dirty clothes to his parents' house to wash and go. His response was, "Oh, okay, that's your viewpoint." I then responded that it would be like you coming to my parents' house to wash your clothes. I just don't understand why he doesn't get this type of stuff and feels I'm weird for thinking this way. You are weird for thinking this way. God damn it. You said fiance. Okay, that's like family. Y'all about to get married. Okay, so they're gonna start treating you like their daughter-in-law, which is family, before you actually go, down the aisle. The feelings and the relationships develop before the wedding actually takes place. Or did you think that it's gonna magically pop out the sky and just drop on them the second you say "I do"? That's not how it works. The relationships are formed first. They welcome you into their family. The wedding is just like sealing the deal. So you coming off like, you too good to wash your clothes at his parents' house. That's the way that they're going to take it because they're looking at an opportunity to spend some time with you, even if it's the 45 minutes or hour that it took for you to wash and dry your clothes. They get to talk to you during that period of time. But you denied them that because you wanted to stay at a hotel. What the fuck you leave home for with dirty clothes anyway? Let's start there. You only have two outfits or something? You could have brought some clean clothes? Are you gonna wear the outfit and gotta wash it that night like some kind of clean freak? Ooh, yeah, these people, something's wrong with them. This kind of thing is, because I remember when I was a little kid. Well, I mean, I wasn't that little. I was, teenager, but headed off to college. I went down to Houston. Now, my parents had always told me, don't go to people's house hungry, right? It's rude to be walking in the door, stomach growling, looking for something to eat. You should have ate before you went. That's how I was raised, right? Okay, so now I go down to the South. It was a whole different environment, and I was inadvertently insulting people by doing what my parents had taught me to do. It took me a minute. This lady actually had to sit me down and tell me that because what she did, I went to her house and she was like, "Oh, do you want some pie?" And I said, "No, no, thank you." Okay, that's what my parents taught me to do, right? You don't come in the door just eating and stuff. What's wrong with you? You hungry? And so she actually said to me, "You've been in my house 3 times, and you like my food. You too good to eat my food just because you from California." I mean, she had like all these feelings around it and all this like this like animosity. And I was staring at her in disbelief. I'm like 19, I was like, of course, I don't even think like that. Well, I wasn't thinking about that. I said, no, it's not that at all. Just this and that. And this is how my parents, raised me. And so I'm just doing, what I've been taught. And she says, "Oh, I see." And so then she said, "Well, girl, no, you in the South now. And here, when people offer you something, even if you just have what they call a sliver, you have a taste, a bite, a little sample, something, a fork too full of two. If someone offers you something, it's rude to say no." I said, I had no idea. And then I thought about all the people who I had done that with, and was looking at me all kind of crazy. And then I understood what their expressions were. So, young lady, in essence, that long winded story I just told you is what you did with your boyfriend. He's trying to get you to be a part of the member of the family, bringing your clothes over there, saying hi to his parents, and throwing your shit in the washing machine. Y'all sit down, have lemonade, have a snack, just chew the fat with them. You put your shit in the dryer. Sit down, you chew the fat with them. You bring your clothes, you fold your clothes, y'all put them in a baggie or something, hefty bag, whatever, and you go on back to the hotel. That's what he was looking for you to do. Okay? That's all. Well, it's not that it's necessarily rude of her, but what she did, people are going to be put off by it. I'm sure she's doing what she was taught, just like me. That's why I said that story. You were doing what you were taught to do as a young, growing up. But I'm telling you, in certain environments, you got to kind of adjust that thinking. That's the reason why I told you my story, so you could relate to it. It's not rude. Okay. Question 11, female 18 to 21 out of London. My boyfriend and I are long distance, and due to the current situation, we haven't seen each other in 3 months. So we have been doing things on FaceTime. Sorry, TMI, to substitute for the intimate part of our relationship. The issue is sometimes he will start doing stuff on the camera and phone calls without me agreeing, and this makes me uncomfortable, especially if we are in the middle of a serious conversation. This issue has come up a few times. He always says he feels bad and apologizes, but it keeps happening. He says sometimes that he can't help himself and he gets too distracting, and it gets too distracting to continue a conversation. He has a history of an ex girlfriend who treated him like he was unwanted and worthless, and I really don't want to bring him back to feeling like that. I do need to respect myself, though. I just do not feel okay when he does this without asking first, and I need to find a way to communicate how serious this is before I really start to resent him. I'm not going to break up with him over this, though. I would prefer to sort this out if possible. Do you have any suggestions? What you have here is someone who is not respecting your boundaries and he's not respecting your no. It's like he want to do what he want to do, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it, how disgusted you are about it, how it hurts your feelings, how it hurts your sensibilities, how you just find it rude, nasty, and disgusting. He don't give a shit. He's getting his jollies, and that's all he's focused on. So what you have to do, this is how you train motherfuckers like that. When he does something like that, you go click. He'll call back. Why did you hang up on me? Because I told you I didn't want to participate in that bullshit. And there you go, trying to do it anyway. So I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm not going to talk to you for a while. So you go on over there with your friend and your pants, and y'all have a good time together. Click. So he gonna call back the next day like nothing happened, or he might apologize, and he gonna do it again because he gonna test to see if you really mean it. Since you let him get away with it so many other times, and he's gonna start again. Click. As soon as he flashes you on the camera, click. And every time he does it, you break off contact. That's how you train a motherfucker to not do those kinds of things. Now, personally, I mean, I'm telling you that because you say you don't want to break up with him over it. I would have broke up with him over it because to me, if I tell you no about something and you do it anyway, that means you have like a rapist mentality. He's like he's not physically touching you, but it's the end result. It's for him. It's the same. You said no, and he did it anyway. And in the end result, he got some sexual pleasure out of it. So to me, it's the same thing. It violated your sensibilities. So I would have nothing to do with dude. He would be so fired out of my world. See, there's just one thing I don't do is let some men come in and violate my boundaries. You got one time. And that one time that you do that, that's going to be the last time. Because, you can't stop them. You know what I mean? You can't stop them from doing it. People say, you attract what you are and you teach people how to treat you and all that old bullshit. I'm not a part of that belief system. I think that's just stupid. But, what you do is, because people already know how to treat you. They know how to do it, especially if you've done it and you've told them what your boundaries are and they violate them anyway. Okay, so now at this point, you have to just back up your words with action and cut off all contact with him. I would have been done. He would have got to, like I said, to do that one time. And then that would have been that. It is. It is the mentality. I mean, I could it's the same principle. A woman says no to something sexual and you do it anyway to her. Okay, so some of you might not see it that way, but I do. Best life, what he does is they talking on the phone and in the middle of conversation, he'll start doing, some nasty stuff right on the face, they're FaceTiming. He'll just start doing some freaky shit. Without even as she didn't agree to it. She told him that she doesn't like it. She told him to stop. He keeps doing it anyway. That's what's happening. Like, don't nobody want to look at that little thing. Hide that away. Question number 12, female 26 to 29 from the UK. I read a post in a Facebook group by a woman sharing how she was given the creeps by a bloke she knew. A bloke she knew drunkenly saying while messaging as a friend that he would like to see her naked. Wow. Wow. I have blocked men for less, even for variations on "Hello, beautiful" on Messenger. But I imagine that a lot of people, both men and women, would have a blokes will be blokes attitude to stuff like that and expect men to try and get eggplant or pics out of women to make sexually oriented talk and so on. I'd like your view, Deb. Just how much would you put up with this sort of thing from friends, prospective partners, or boyfriends, etc.? Exactly zero. Exactly zero. Now it's my man. I'm sleeping with you. Well, see, then that kind of conversation might be foreplay, okay? But we have a different kind of relationship. Your husband, your man of whatever period of time, that's a different kind of relationship than someone who says he's a friend. Okay, if I don't talk like that with my female friends, then motherfucker, don't you think that you gonna slide in and do that? Okay, that's some trash. You're trash. I don't want to be bothered. Let me tell you about this one friend I had that did that. I knew we had been friends for I don't know years. One day, because I was having a hard time after after my husband died in the car accident and stuff. I was having a very hard time, getting back out on the dating scene, and I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. I would occasionally go, one of friends would go out to dinner or something, take you out to lunch or to drinks or something. But these were guys, that were really friends and no funny business. So this one though, he wanted to take it to a new level. So keep in mind now, my daughter at that point is about 7 or 8 years old, and he calls me one day, and so we're talking, and he says, "Oh, if you're not gonna give that stuff to nobody else, give it to me." That's what he said to me. And I was kind of sleepy, I was talking, and I sat up in the bed. I said, "What did you just say to me?" And then he said it again like he was making a joke. He got cussed out. And in that conversation, when I was cussing him out, I said, "See, this is why I'm about to cut you off forever. Because see, now you want to tell people he would introduce me to people like that I was his sister and all this kind of stuff. Yet this is how he came at me. That's so incongruent to me." So I'm like, see, and then you want to talk about my daughter being like your little niece. So if you would talk to me like that as your quote sister, what might you do to your niece who wouldn't know any better? See, that's how my mind goes. I'm going to go from A to Z like real quick on your ass. I see into the future when you say stupid shit and all the possible ramifications of this action and these words that you just said, and I'm going to hang your ass with it. And so he was sitting there stuttering, see, because I took it to a level he didn't intend it to go. And I said, "See, so you might forget that that's your niece and say some fucked up shit to her. And you know I would do to you? I would kill your fucking ass. That's what would happen. I would kill you. So what I'm gonna do, because I don't really feel like going to jail. I don't feel like going to prison, and I want my daughter to be safe away from any fucking perverts. I am going to hang up this phone. When I hang up this phone, don't you ever call me again." I hung up. I blocked his number. So he knew my email address. He sent me an email. I blocked him there too. Then he knew he would send me a fax because that's when I used to work at home. I worked for .com, and I had like a home office, and so he had my business card right. It had my fax number on it. But what he didn't know is you could block. We could block numbers on the fax machine too. I blocked him there too. He tried to send me a letter through the mail. I sent that back. No, he sent it to my job. I sent it back. Return to sender. Every time he sent something, it was return to sender. I never opened it. He had no further contact with me at all. When I say I don't want to talk to you and you ain't talking to me and you get the fuck out of my life, that's what I mean. We ain't gonna be friends. We ain't gonna catch up. We not gonna have a drink for old time's sake. I don't give a fuck if you live, die, get eaten by jaws. Nothing. I don't care what happens to you. Just go, get up, go somewhere, go out of here. Because that shit was so disturbingly perverse to me under the way he had presented our relationship. Do you see what I mean? He was trying to play the best friend thing like we family and all this old shit. And then when his moment of horniness, that's how he came at me. So I was like, nah, I'm done. And so that was that, because I could just see him doing something untoward toward my daughter, and y'all wouldn't know me because I would be in whatever the female version is of San Quentin in California, and I would have just been happy to sit there. Yeah, it was very disturbing. So, yeah, dude, dude was desperate. He was apologizing. I looked at the facts, but it didn't matter because I wasn't going to respond to it. But he was right. I'm so sorry, I just forgive me this and that. Boop, and block. Because you know how they get spam faxes? So they fax machines have the ability to block numbers. I don't know a lot of people don't know that, but you can do that. Yeah, Jaws, man. I saw that movie when it came out. That skate was scary. That part where that girl was in the water going like this, that shit scared the shit out of me. That was good. Okay, let's move on though. But anyway, yeah. So in other words, I don't put up with that kind of stuff. Nah. Yeah, you can be friends with the opposite sex. I have, like, most of my friends are guys. The only one that kind of fucked it up was him. And you saw what happened. I had my friend Ken on the show. We've been friends for 20 something years. There's no problem. You know, this is just, got to, it just has to be the right kind of guy that understands I'm not interested in you like that. There will never be a case where I'm interested in you like that. This is not a break glass in case of emergency situation, because even if I'm going to do that, it ain't going to be you. So understand that. Maybe you can't be, but I can. Question number 13. 30 to 36-year-old female out of the UK. So in a nutshell, my dear husband and I have been together for 6.5 years, married for 3. All fine, I mean generally really fine, until we moved to be closer to his family last year. Since then, I have seen a completely different side of him. He's become needy and horrible. Examples are being moody if I'm on the phone talking to family, so I can only speak to them when he's at work. Giving me the silent treatment for 2 to 3 days after I go out to do my hobby on a Tuesday night, asking me to cut off certain friends, and picking at everything I do. He's also developed this habit of ringing me whenever he's driving and expecting me to be on the phone with him until he gets to his destination. I can't go on to work on can't go on work nights out. Oh, okay, because he just sulk. I can't even get out of bed before he's awake in the morning because he'll be grumpy. I quote left him. I feel like I can't breathe, and the only space I get is when I'm in the bathroom or at work. I've never given him a reason not to trust me, and I do now know that all of this is controlling behavior. But every time I try and approach it, he tells me it's a reflection of how much he loves me and needs me, how he's scared I'll leave him, and how it's because his mental health is wobbly and he's so needy. And then I feel terrible for questioning it. Oh, these weak ass women. Because perhaps it's just about how much he loves me and needs me and he wants me around. So I'm going in circles, getting more and more claustrophobic. I'm so anxious all the time, and I've been lying to him about having to stay late at work so I can go and see a friend for coffee. I know that's a slippery slope, and I don't want to be lying, but I can't see my friends without creating a massive issue. Perhaps it's not controlling, really, and that part is in my head. I don't know. I would be grateful of an outside perspective, please. Oh, been married in 6.5 together, married for 3, and he just started acting a fool recently. When he got around his family, I wonder what that's all about. What did they trigger in him? That's an interesting correlation. But it doesn't really matter because, when he's moody with you on the phone, let his ass be moody. What, you can't stand to see him be moody? I wouldn't give a fuck. Go over there and be moody if you goddamn want to. Is your face looking stupid? What does that got to do with me? And I would just make him just be hella extra too on the phone. Girl, yes. So he'd be mad as hell, like, what you laughing at so much? Oh, I would just rub his nose in it. And he's like, he wanted you to be on the phone with him while and he give you a silent treatment after you go out and do your hobby on Tuesday. Oh, let me do it Tuesday and Thursday. Since you ain't talking to me, I may as well have a good time. Oh, and let me do Wednesday too. See, that's how you do people like that. You just giving in and just coddling his ass. And he rings you when he's driving and wants you to be on the phone. You get 5 minutes. Click. I got shit to do. I don't want to be babysitting you on the phone while you drive. Shit, concentrate before you crash into a wall or something. And you can go on work nights out because he just sulk. Who gives a shit? You treating him like he's a baby. Like it's like he's not allowed to pout and be upset. That's how you break them of this stuff. You don't give in. Everything that you're doing is training him that this is the way to get your attention. This is the way to get what he wants. This is the way to manipulate and control you because you give in to it. If anything, when they start this kind of shit, you do the opposite. And he's mentally wobbly. Motherfucker, get you some mental crutches then. Whatever you need, get you a shrink, a couch, something, some pills, whatever you need to make the magic happen. Because your mental wobbles don't have shit to do with me. Nothing. And using that as an excuse anyway. How much they love you. He's scared you'll leave him. But that's when you tell him, the way that you love me, the way that you love me is fucking feels like a fucking dog with an electronic choke collar on it. Every time I show you love, you want more and more and more. It's like a never-ending fucking black hole in space that you're trying to fill up. I can't do it anymore. I refuse. The stuff that you're doing is what's gonna make me leave you. That's what's pushing me away. Your fucking neediness and your want to control. You need to stop before you fuck up our marriage. It was fine before we came by your parents. I don't know what's so different now. But whatever it is, you better fix it before you lose your wife. Because I'm not tolerating this bullshit. I don't give a fuck if you pout. You can pout until your lip falls off. It's just do what you want to do. But I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's just going to be that. Question number 14. Female, 26 to 29, out of Los Angeles. I tried to break with him weeks ago, but we decided to give the relationship another try. I'm 28 and he's 35, if that matters. So today I was on the phone with him. Everything was great, but then he mentioned something. Nothing serious, just my boobs. You know what? I don't care about people pouting. Little kids can pout. Big kids can pout. I just be looking at them. I'm likely to pull out my phone and start taking pictures and put it up on Instagram. Look at this pouting motherfucker, 40 years old, looking like a 2-year-old. See, I'll fuck you up. I'll embarrass you. But make the whole world see what a big ass baby looks like with your picture there. So, it's like I had no idea I was marrying a toddler wearing, a pamper wearing toddler. But here's the evidence. Look at that face. Just clown him. Just embarrass him like that. It's like if you want to act like a kid, I'm going to treat you like one. Stupid. It's not cute, but you can make it cute because it'll give you some really good laughs. I make memes, right? Girl, I would have a field day. Give me a nice picture of a man pouting. I will make about 200 memes with different captions. He would become a internet superstar. That shit would go viral with his face looking stupid. Exactly. That's right, Felicia. That's exactly what I would do. That would be his punishment. I just like, this is just ridiculous. Okay, so anyway, I'm on the boobs. He knows that my nipples are very sensitive and I don't like it when he's playing with them. Ooh. We already talked about this, but still he insists. We got into a fight. I explained to him again that this is very uncomfortable for me and that is literally painful. So he said, okay, sorry for bringing it up again. He apologized, explaining to me that he just really into boobs. I told him that it is not a real apology if he says sorry, but I'm just really into boobs and I think you should let me play with your nipples. We got into a bigger fight and I told him that I want to break up because I don't think it's normal that he's trying to force me into something I don't like and was actually physically painful for me. 1 hour later, he messaged me that I'm overreacting. He asked if he can at least touch them and asked for a boob job as compensation. I'm still shocked. What the heck? How should I reply? What should I do? Am I really overreacting? Thank you in advance. No, you're not overreacting with your body. Why do you guys doubt yourself so much? This shit gets on my nerves. I can't wait until I do that webinar thing in August. That's the day I decided to do it. It's going to be around my birthday unless I go on a cruise. Then it's going to be the week after. Depends on what Rona's doing. I might be at home the whole week. But, anything that has to do with your body, you set the fucking rules. You, only you. Nobody else has any input into what you decide hurts you, what feels good to you, what you like, what you don't. Only you. Okay, so his opinion, his request mean nothing. Break up with him. Totally break up with him. He's totally disrespecting you. He's not adhering to your morals. And again, they got that rapist mentality. I know it's your body, but I'm gonna take what I want to off of your body. I'm gonna do what I want to do to your body, even though you told me no. I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to. That's a rapist mentality. I'm just like I wasn't speechless. I was just trying to think what I'm gonna say first because my natural inclination would be that he would be every kind of motherfucker I could have thought of, But I'm trying to give people answers, not just cuss me and out for them. So I have to think, okay, you would if it were me, he would become every kind of motherfucker I could have thought of, but that's not what she wants to hear because she's doubting that she's even got the right to feel this way, which I find utterly amazing. She says it's physically painful for her. Okay, that means you're going ouch. And it's like wincing and shit. And he is just doing it anyway. He would likely get a knee in the nuts if it was me. No, she don't want to take his money. She just wants to leave him alone. He probably don't even have none anyway, because otherwise he could go and buy him somebody to play with their boobs. But he tried to do the shit for free under the guise of having a girlfriend. Fuck this motherfucker. So you cut off all ties with him. If he calls again, don't put his number on block so you don't take his calls anymore. Block him. No texting, no calling. Block him on all your social media. Forget you even know him. He's a fucking rapist. And it's just, these guys have this mentality, and then people are like, oh, that's awfully harsh, this and that. It's exactly the same shit. When they feel entitled to something from your body when you said no. And why you girls don't get that is just a shock to me. No means no. You ain't touching me. You ain't breathing on me. You ain't kissing me. You ain't touching my arm, my hand, my butt, my leg, my boobs, my face, my hair, nothing. I didn't give you permission, motherfucker, back the fuck up. And it doesn't matter if you just your man or you married. It doesn't matter. If you said no, that's all. That's it. That's the end. No. But y'all, you just so weak. You got to do better. This just drives me crazy. All this worrying about some motherfucking man. And it's causing you physical pain and agony. And you still want to be bothered with him? He would the first time I said, don't do that shit, that hurts. And he did it again, that would have been the end for me. You get one time. Like I said, one time. Y'all need to adopt a one time rule. Exactly, Jerisha. Motherfucker. Can he at least touch him? No, you ain't getting shit from me. Not even a phone call. God damn it, what a fucking freak. Question number 15. Female 21 to 26, Akron, Ohio. This may sound a bit silly, but I can't help but feel a bit uneasy about another woman who is interested in my boyfriend. Is he interested back? That's the only thing you need to concern yourself with. But let's read on. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 3 years. This other woman, let's call her girl one, is someone he has known before he met me. They aren't close, more like acquaintances. But she has openly told me that when I met her a few months ago that yes, she is interested in my boyfriend but will not act on anything. Okay, let me stop here. So some bitch comes to you and says to you, to your face, that she's interested in your man. That was your opportunity to clown like your ass worked at Ringling Brothers. You're supposed to say, really? Well, what has that interest got you? You've known him for all these years. He ain't paid you no mind. So I think that what you telling me right now that you want to be interested in him, you just wasting your time and don't make me laugh. Sound like a desperate bitch trying to make somebody jealous if you ask me. It's not working. You sound stupid. Now that's what I would have said to her. Because she just trying to see if she can get your goat. She's trying to see how much confidence you have. She's trying to see if you're more of a bitch than she is. Because only a little bitch would say some shit like that to somebody. And that's why I would just be looking at her and I would have to say some really rude things to hurt her feelings. Like, he ain't been interested in your ass for 3 years. What makes you think he cares about you now? He got me. I'm fabulous. You just a has-been wannabe. No comparison. So anyway, let's continue reading this. She's not going to act on anything. In the past, before I met my boyfriend, he was nice to her, saying hello to her at parties, and that he would attend with friends. And once he even exchanged a gift with her when his friends attended a holiday function. She's in his friend circle, but again, they're not close. Anyways, he has told me in the past that he has never had any romantic feelings for her. He doesn't even know her very well. But my issue is really with girl one and her friend group. I don't hate her in any way. I just feel anxious. I have heard her friends talking behind my back, saying things like she deserves to be with my current boyfriend, that they're better together, that he's probably lying and doesn't actually love me, but loves her, girl number one, and that I cannot compare to her. Wow, you need to put your bitch on. Her friends don't know my boyfriend and I personally, so I know those comments shouldn't bother me, but I can't help but feel insecure over them. That's what you just playing right into their hands with your weakness. Oh, God damn it. My close friends, and even my boyfriend's friends, have told me that my boyfriend is very loyal to me and only loves me. My boyfriend has even said himself that I'm the only one. I know all their opinions should count more than some outsiders who don't know us, but again, I can't help but feel worried. Should I just ignore the comments that girl one of her friends are making behind my back? No, you should not ignore them. What you should do is stop running scared. They're talking about that she deserves to be with your boyfriend. What? Is he like a lotto ticket or something? Like everybody deserves a turn? He's a grown man. He's going to pick who he wants to pick. And I would remind them that. And who he picked was not her. Why? Because she ain't shit. Why? Because she's friends with you and y'all ain't shit neither. A bunch of ain't shit bitches sitting around talking about somebody like somebody gives a shit what your opinion is. That boy ain't interested in you. He's got a woman of class. You just a roach. Just a little bitch ass roach. Crawling around trying to get a snack. That I cannot compare to her. Yeah, you can. That's why you the winner. See, that's the one who's the winner is me. I got this shit, not you. So that obviously means I'm better than you, right? Because otherwise you would be over here, but you're not. So that should be all the answers that you need. You ain't shit. You ain't good as me. Your friends are bitches. Y'all look like roaches and you're jealous hoes. I don't know what else to tell you. You know how roaches look? Have you ever looked at a roach up close on a magnifying glass? What you call the microscope? That's some scary shit. Them some ugly little motherfuckers. They look like that dude that used to wear the big clock. What's his name? He looked like a roach. Man, just dead onto a roach. If a roach put one of them giant clocks around his neck, it would look just like dude. I can't think of his name right now. But you know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's it. You just, like, I mean, you young, and so you probably feeling all scared and stuff, but you don't run scared from bitches. You just talk about them to their face. That's one thing. That's what they're afraid of that. That's why they get together in little groups and try to do that little bitchy catty shit. So the way that you break that down is show that you're not intimidated. You walk right into where they are and you read them all like a book. Tell them that they ain't shit, that they stupid bitches, and that they hoes. And that's why he don't want to be bothered with you. I'm the one who won the prize. You're the loser. And then you turn around and fluff your hair and you walk off like a G. What they gonna say? Flavor, yes, thank you. Whew, that damn that boy is ugly. Every time I used to look at that show where he was on it, I was like, ooh, wee, what in the world? And he actually has kids. People had babies by that. I'm like, what in the world? Did they put bags over a dude's head? Because don't even stand close to me because some of that ugly might jump off of you. Onto me, I need to be like this in my casket, just all cute and shit. I just can't. Mm-mm. This is just these little bitches. They just get on my nerves. That's why they so cowardly. That's why it's always got to be a group of them. They can't deal with you one on one. They try to deal with you one on one. They know they're gonna be like cut down, so they got to get gang up. So they big up each other and stuff. So when you got a group of girls talking shit, you know that they ain't shit. None of them is shit. They all chicken shit bitches. Because otherwise they could step to you like a G and make it happen. But instead they're gonna be sitting over there, yeah, she this and that, like back talking and stuff, low talk, what they call it, conversations. They ain't gonna get in your face and say nothing because they know they would get clowned. Get all their feelings hurt. Female, question number 16, female 18 to 21. First, I want to be upfront and tell you that I posted this question on a couple of relationship sites to get different opinions. Oh boy. But now I'm asking for your thoughts because I know you will give it to me straight. Dad, my boyfriend and I have been dating for a year, almost two today. For the most part, the relationship has been great. We get along fine. My family loves him. However, he has this ex. They split on amicable terms, and she's pretty nice. We have plenty of mutual friends, so I've run into her from time to time, and she's friendly. I never had a problem with her before. She has a new boyfriend as well. Until today, that is, when my boyfriend let it slip that she has called him a couple of times during our year long relationship and has told him several different occasions that she misses him. All of this while she has a boyfriend and my boyfriend has me. I knew they were still friendly, but I had no idea this happened at all. While he always tells her he's happy with me, it really bugged me. So I told him that I would like for him to block her calls. I don't know if it was crazy, but I felt like it was the right thing to tell him for my own peace of mind and for her poor boyfriend has no idea this happened. Just so you know, even though he lives in a different state and I haven't had any contact with him whatsoever, and she put that in big caps, he cheated. My current boyfriend still told me to block my ex from everything, my phone, my WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and I did it because that's what made him feel comfortable. It sucks that he can't do the same for me. Instead, he got really defensive and told me that he won't block her. When I asked why, he told me if she ever needs anything, I always want to be there for her. Oh, yeah. This made me absolutely lose my mind. I have never had a crazy jealous girlfriend before, but that justification sounds like a slap in the face. If they are exes and they both have partners, why should my boyfriend be the one to help her whenever she needs? Am I overreacting? No. Immediately go and unblock your ex on all those social media accounts and start corresponding with him regularly. That's what you do. So you got to fight fire. Like I'm telling you, fight fire with a flamethrower. And then you reach out to your ex. How you doing? Send him some pictures of you. Tell him to send some of himself. Make sure your new boyfriend sees them. And he's gonna say, "I thought you blocked him." I said, "Yeah, well, I unblocked him since you refused to block your ex, and you want to be there for her in case of an emergency. I felt like it's only fair that I unblock my guy, and that we be equal on equal terms with our exes." And he's gonna be upset. And then as soon as he does, you say, "You know what? Fuck you. Kiss my ass. I'm out." Because what you really have here is a see, but see, first you want to fuck with his head first. But you already know you're leaving. See, that's where I'm going. But you're gonna take this step first because you want to leave with his feelings in turmoil. You don't want to just leave so he feels relieved. You want to leave where his head is all fucked up. That's what you want to do. You want to get him back. So what you do, and you that's what you do, and you gotta say, no, we need to be on an equal term with our exes. So I'm going to do exactly what you do. So that's going to give him pause. His eyes going to be bucking around like, oh no, what does that mean? Is she cheating on me? Because I'm thinking about cheating on her. Oh, but it doesn't matter because what you're going to do, as soon as he says anything other than, okay, babe, you're right, you're going to say, fuck you, I'm out. Because, it's obvious you still in love with her because you care more about that bitch than you do about my feelings. So y'all, I hope y'all is very happy together. And then you just be out. Leave like a G. Don't wait until your face is rubbed into the mud and, and disgraced and stuff, and feeling like all bad about yourself that you stuck around to take this kind of abuse from this little fucktard. Shit. So, that's like as soon as he was saying, I'm telling you, I would be plotting how I'm going to get him back. How am I going to fuck you up? How am I going to hurt all your feelings? You don't want to block that bitch? Okay, don't. You're going to wish you did, though, because it's on now. And when I'm done, then I'm leaving. But before that, you gonna suffer some hurt feelings. Like I tell one of my exes, I want you to make a video for me. And you talk about how you enjoyed, eggplanting and how it was so good. And I'm going to leave that out so he can see it on my phone and press play. Stuff like that. I'm very evil. I'm going to think of some shit that's going to fuck you up. So you're going to wish you had just done what I asked you to do. Question number 17, because it wasn't outlandish, her ask. It wasn't like she asked him for anything like all crazy or nothing. So it was just asking to be treated the way that he asked her to treat him. So, but it's time for him to get fucked up. Question number 17, female 30 to 36 from Botswana. Wow. I don't think I've ever got a letter from Botswana. If I did, I don't remember. I've been seeing this guy for 2 months. We aren't exclusive yet. He suggested we should be soon. Then I remembered one of your videos about casually dating several men in order to find the one. In a nutshell, I suggested this to him, not just for me, but for him as well. Well, he flipped and basically said I must want to have someone on the side. Then he sulked and got snippy with me. Of course he did. I just don't see why someone who has not made any commitment to me should have exclusive access to me. Excellent, excellent job. His idea of commitment is dating indefinitely. I can't do that. What did I do wrong? What should I do next? XO Viv. Oops, I guess I shouldn't have said that. P.S. I'm 32 and he's 33. Oh, I guess cuz didn't see this part. Normally, I guess she takes that out. But anyway, what you do here, Miss Botswana, you handled this so well. The only thing I would have said differently is he suggested that you should be soon. Now, telling the thinking about the video and saying that you should date other people, that's not exactly how this is best handled. What you say is we've only known each other for 2 months. I'm not really thinking about being in a committed relationship quite yet. I'm still dating other people. You don't ask him or tell him to do it. You say what you're doing. I'm still dating other people. I'm not really ready to be, committed yet. I'm not sure that you would be the one for me. I'm still getting to know you. So you don't do it. You own it. You tell them what you're doing. You don't tell them what to do ever. You don't never tell them what to do. That part was a flat mistake. Um, you just say what you do, and you say, and he talking about you have someone on the side. Say, I can't. What are you talking about on the side? We're not a couple. I'm not married to you. I'm not engaged to you. So anything that I'm doing as a single woman, I'm entitled to do just like you as a single man. We're not a couple. Okay? So make sure you understand that. This is not a side thing. Once I decide that I want to be committed and, then I will be. But right now, we're not committed to each other. We are not in any kind of relationship. We're just getting to know each other. So let's, put this into perspective here. I'm still getting to know you just like I'm getting to know other people as well. Okay? So that's how you do that. And, you're right. He shouldn't have exclusive access and wanting to date indefinitely. Fuck that motherfucker. Shit. You 32 and he's 33. That's plenty old enough to be knowing what you want. Yeah, he's doing the most. Question number 18, female, 30 to 36, USA, it says. I've been married for 5 years. I have one kid, 3 years old, another on the way. I teach high school full time now from home with the virus and have to grade tons of work. Take care of my kid, clean up her mess that seems to accumulate 24/7. Plus, I'm expected to do all the housework and cooking. Even though we live in an apartment, it gets totally overwhelming, and sometimes, well, a good amount of the time, I just can't do it. Husband complains every day, no exaggeration, about it all. If he pitches in, which on occasionally he does, he complains the entire time, why couldn't you do this? Unfortunately, my husband comes from a household where his mother didn't work, so housewife was her job, which is fine, but I don't have that luxury. This is something we have discussed time and time again, and it's not going to happen the way he had it at home, but it doesn't seem to penetrate. So when he complains, I try to ignore the comments. It just comes off as nagging to me, which in turn makes me want to do even less. Like I said before, he does pitch in occasionally, but it's not nearly enough. It's funny because he's lived alone for a good amount of his life, so he knows how to do everything. He just chooses not to do it. I asked for a cleaning lady because with the second kid on the way, it's not only going to get worse, and he doesn't want to pay for it. Says we don't need it. I'm getting resentful and turned off, frankly. I've tried it all, so I'm turning to you for help. What should I do? You should go on strike. First of all, wait, let's rewind and let's talk about this damn 3-year-old you got. A 3-year-old is perfectly capable of picking up his or her toys, shoes, clothes, and everything else. At that age, my daughter was helping me fold her clothes, and she knew how to put them in the drawer and ball up her socks and everything else. No toys was on the floor. She knew where her toys went, and she put them back. She played with a puzzle. She played it on the table. She put it back in the box. She put it back on the shelf. There's no reason why your daughter is leaving messes all over the floor and shit, because other than the fact that you ain't taught her nothing. Start teaching your daughter to clean up after herself. Put her dishes in the sink, wipe off the table, wash her hands, put her toys away. 3-year-olds can be very responsible. I saw a show with a little boy in China who was only 5. He was cooking whole meals and taking care of the house and stuff because his mom was sick. So we got these American kids, 3-year-olds don't do a goddamn thing. Teach your daughter some responsibility. Stop being a slave to a brat 3-year old. That's plenty old enough to pick up after themselves. Dress herself, all kind of stuff she should be doing for herself. You need to teach your kid to be independent. Now let's turn to this husband of yours. Stop doing anything. Stop it. Don't do shit. Don't cook. Don't clean. Don't wash no clothes. Don't do nothing. Just sit around. And since he's gonna complain anyway, he might as well have something to complain about. You feel me? This house is a mess. Sure is. When are you gonna clean it? Never. You gonna do it. Either you gonna do it or you gonna hire somebody to do it. But I'm not cleaning shit. And that's what you say. And he'll be mad. And guess what? Who gives a fuck? It's not like the world's gonna explode because he mad. That's what y'all be acting like because these men get upset that you gotta be like appeasing them. I would not give a fuck. Get mad if you want to. It makes me happy to see you mad because it means I'm doing something right. I'm just like, mm-mm. Yeah. I'm trying to say these women, but you got to have an idea that, your boundaries are weak. So you want to keep doing it, but you want to keep complaining. And he's just going to take advantage of it because you keep doing it. He doesn't have to do anything because you do it. I'm telling you, my first stop would be that 3-year-old. Oh, hell no, we creating work for mommy. You going to pick up your toys. When my daughter didn't do that, and she was only 2, I said, you pick up your stuff. If you leave your stuff on the floor, I'm throwing it in the garbage. So she picked it up a little bit, and then she left the other stuff, and then I threw it in the garbage. Guess what? Guess who picked up their toys every day after that? So that's what I'm saying. You got to teach people that you mean what you say. And every letter that we've read so far, these women have not backed up their words with action. As soon as they say what they're going to do, then they turn around and do something else and give in. So you're not, you all don't have no spine. You can't handle men like that. You can't handle children like that. You can't handle life like that. You can't handle employers like that. Nobody. You got to mean what you say. And when you say something, you saying no, you got to back that shit up. So, that's your first lesson here. But, and if you want to hire somebody and you have access to the money, then hire somebody. You don't need his permission. We don't need it. No, maybe we don't, but I do. But I would do the strike thing first because let him either get in there and clean it all and see how much work it is. And then he'd be happy to hire somebody to come in and help. See what I mean? You got to teach him a valuable lesson. Don't do shit for a week or 2. I wouldn't give it to the garbage pile up. Just put a clothespin on your nose. Or do like the police. They have that smell gel when they go around dead bodies. They put that gel there so they don't smell the funk. Do that. I'm telling you, my stubbornness can outlast anybody. I would not give a fuck. This is a game we're gonna play. It's like playing chicken to see who's gonna curve, and swerve at the end. It's not gonna be me. Yeah, just ultra unbothered, Tansy. Ultra unbothered. Sit there and cross your legs and flip through a magazine and grow your baby. That's all you need to do. Okay. Yeah, she working full time and doing all that stuff. Mm-mm. Question 19. Because of 26 to 29, because of the pandemic, I'm stuck home with my mother, who's a single parent. I work graveyard shifts. I'm a registered nurse, so I have to leave 2.5 hours early in order to arrive at my workplace on time. I live with my brother and sister, both of whom have a car. Wait, I thought you said you live with your mama. Oh, who do you live with? You give it, or do all y'all live together? Maybe that's what she means. My brother is younger, and of course, he got a free car, even though he's working from home. His workplace is also just 5 minutes away. When I asked to borrow the car, I was quickly shot down because the car is, quote, very old, and if it breaks down in the middle of highways, it's not safe for me. I'm hard of hearing, so my mother is scared that I won't be able to handle emergencies. She argued that she's worried about my safety. I'm sick of this bullshit. My mother knows that I worked very hard to start a career, but it's also exhausting. Every time she asks me how long it takes me to use the bus and I respond, she acts so surprised and keeps hounding me to find another job. One night I had enough of it and called her out. She overpowered me, saying that she was giving everyone equal treatment. It was a full-blown argument. How do I stand up and defend myself? Move the fuck out. Rona or not. And then what you can't afford a car? You a fucking RN? You can't buy your own car. You got to be mad because somebody else won't loan you theirs. You full of shit, lady. Either you lying about your job because RNs are some of the most highest paid people in the hospital, other than, the doctors, the surgeons, the specialists and stuff, cardiologists and stuff like that. The RNs. So you making plenty of money to buy a fucking car. You just don't want to. You want to bitch and complain about what somebody else does and feel like a fucking victim riding a bus for 2.5 hours. Who does that? You could go and, rent a car, lease a car. You could do all kind of stuff. You other $250 or something. You could lease some little bucket for a couple for what is it, 2 years or something? Yeah, you know that shit they put down under their nose. I see it on the cop shows. Yeah, they getting big paid, and she up there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She say she a RN. She must be elevating her status because she. But even a CNA can afford a car. It don't have to be a fancy one, but she can afford one. Especially you living with all these different people, you ain't paying no real bills, so you ought to have plenty of money to pay for a car and insurance. You full of shit, lady. I'm not gonna even bother with you. Question number 20. Female, 21 to 26 in the UK. We've been together for 3 years, over 3 years. Moved in after 1 year. Everything was great. In the end of April 2 years ago, he cheated with a coworker of ours. We worked it out, and again last April it happened again. So he just like he filed his taxes and he cheat. It was just an annual event. Again, we worked it out. We no longer work together. Again, everything is great. I've been noticing things about him though. I found hairs in his car. Then last 2 Thursdays he came home late, both times arriving at 1:30 in the morning. He had excuses both times. He left for work and I was picking up his dirty clothes and noticed stains in his underwear. Again, we get along great. Every time I call him before, he gets defenses. What do I do? Nothing. You don't do anything because you don't want to do anything. Because you done had a man that's done cheated on you that you know about twice and doing it again. Just blatant. And you know why? Because he knows that all you're going to do is say, well, let's work it out. Let's work it out. So he's entitled. He can have his cake and eat it too. And plus have pie and lemon bars and bagels and cream cheese and everything else he wants because you ain't going nowhere. That's why when people write me these kind of letters and they have these repetitive cheating incidences and they keep talking about we worked it out, work it out, what should I do and all stuff, I have no answer for you because nothing I say is going to make you understand how stupid you're being. He has no respect for you at all. None. Zero. I just don't even know why you're still there. It's just important to you to live with, have a man, I guess. I don't know. Question number 21. Female, 26 to 29 out of Vermont. I wonder where. They have black people in Vermont? First, I want to say thank you for choosing my question. So I have always wanted to be spoiled with love, gifts, trips, and things like that. But for some reason, I never get it in return. I think I'm pretty and I am kind. I also am not one of those girls that want and never give. It's the opposite. Sometimes he gets me flowers from the grocery store, which I love, and she puts that in caps. I don't want no grocery store flowers. But that is mostly it. He will get something from me if I really need it and ask for it, but he never surprises me just because. I do that for him all the time. Just a few weeks ago, I surprised him with multiple shirts and other things just because I love him. And he seems stressed, so I want him to smile and feel special. I clean the whole house every day. It's spotless. Ooh, come over here. I clean up after him like a maid. I make sure he takes his stomach meds because I put his with mine so I remember to bring it to him. I do his laundry, wash, fold, and put away. I give him back, arm, and hand rubs until he falls asleep almost every night. We have eggplant almost every day. For both of his birthdays, I planned and paid for getaway trips with just us and then parties with his friends. I don't remember right now the other things. I really don't keep score. It's easier to remember things I do on a regular basis. I don't know what I could do better. Help me. What should I do to get him to spoil me? I get money and I want to spend almost all of it on him. He gets money and he just hoards it. I'm not going to lie, he does do little things for me sometimes, but it's significantly less than I do for him. It just feels unfair. If I say anything, he gets mad. Honestly, another thing that digs at me is that I know he spoiled his ex with jewelry, including a ring, not engagement ring though, a bike, massages, etc. She lived here rent free and so much more. She just got spoiled and I feel unappreciated. By the way, he makes more money than me and I pay half of everything. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one more thing. He does cook meals. However, I struggle with anorexia. So cooking a dinner for me is not really for me. He makes himself food and I'll eat whatever's left over, maybe. You know, little girl, I'm not gonna go off on you because you need some help. And I'm serious right now. This column is limited in scope because I am not a licensed psychotherapist. I have studied psychology. It was my minor in college. My major was communications, but I did not do a practicum. I did not do any, work in that field. I can't claim or diagnose or do anything like that. All I can do is recommend, from what I see here, that you have cripplingly low self esteem. You feel like all you doing all these things for somebody is going to make them love you. You want to see proof of that love in tangible form, in these what they call that love style, acts of service and gifts. Those are your evidently your love styles, and it's not gonna happen. This is not the dude for that. He's never gonna happen. He hoards his money and he makes you pay half, even though you make way less than him. After he lets somebody else live there rent free. Now, for me, just knowing that, that would have been enough for me to never want to be with him because you're not going to treat me less well than you treated someone else and think that I'm going to stick around. I'm not going to do that. I had a guy I was talking to, we was just quote talking to. We were talking and he started telling me about his ex and how he used to do all the stuff for her. And then he told me, well, I don't really have it in me to do that for women anymore. I don't do shit for women no more, blah, blah, blah. And he's telling me this. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, now you telling me this about what you're not going to do after you did like everything for this woman, but you don't want to do nothing here. And you think I want to be with you? I don't want to be with you. I'm just not gonna happen. And so when he started trying to get us together, I'm like, nope, not happening. I don't want to. Nope, nope, nope. So yeah, this little girl, there's some problems there. Uh, I had a client who was anorexic, man, and she had some real issues with feeling controlled. She was Chinese, and her father was like, man, he rode her. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't do nothing. So the only thing that she could do was control what she ate. That was her way of, fighting back against his just complete domination of her. And it was just sad to see. Whew, I still remember her. Yeah, I just, so when I do know young ladies have these kind of disorders, and it's just sad. I'm not equipped on this show to deal with an issue of this magnitude. This requires professional intervention because you're dealing with multiple problems of a very deep seated nature. Please get yourself some professional help quickly and get out of this relationship so you can concentrate on healing yourself. Okay. Physically, from the anorexia, you need to, heal your body and you need to heal yourself mentally and emotionally. So you got three big jobs ahead of you before you could even begin to have a healthy relationship, not only with a man, but with yourself. All right. So let's move on to question number 22. It's the next to last question here on What the Fuck Tuesday Relationship Live Stream, where we give the advice that you won't get nowhere else. Because you will get cussed the fuck out if you do some stupid shit. But I do have sympathy for people who are young and don't know any better. I treat them very nicely, I think. But that's a very, when she added that in there, that took it to a different level. It's like I'm not messing with this. I'm not. This is beyond the scope of me of this column. But I encourage those of you who are listening who wandered in here, please become a subscriber to the channel. Hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell so you can find out when we schedule new shows. And sometimes we just do a pop up, and so there's no advance notice. I sit down, power up my equipment, and then we start the show. So if you're not a subscriber with the instant notification bell rung, you won't get it. And those of you who are subscribers, check your subscription as well, because sometimes I understand that YouTube has been, unclicking um, those subscription bell things. So make sure it's still checked so you get your instant notifications. Okay. So let's move on to question number 22. This is a female, 21 to 26, out of Denver. I've been seeing this guy for about 3 months, which is a fairly new relationship. Yeah. We've been talking for about 5 months, though. We officially started dating shortly after the stay at home order was put in place in our state, so I have hardly been able to see him at all. About a week after we made the decision to be exclusive, he asked me if he could see one of his former FWBs because he wanted to have eggplant. At first, I said yes because I really wanted to be comfortable with it. After a few days of being panicked and anxious all the time, I told him I wasn't comfortable with it, so he didn't see her. Skip forward a week. He asked if he can see her again. This time, he invites me to come see her too. I said no. This time, I'm more clear about how uncomfortable it makes me. Oh, this guy's a nut. He understands this and cuts off contact with her. I didn't tell him he had to, nor did I ask him to. He decided to do it on his own. Skip forward a few more weeks. I get a text that says that maybe another one of his former FWBs is going to be stopping by to see him. I got really upset and said that I wasn't comfortable with that at all. He told me that they weren't going to do anything. He just wanted to check in with her. I made it clear that no matter what, I would still be uncomfortable with it. He told her not to come over. Later that night, we had a long conversation about it. He said he is still friends with some of his old FWBs, and that he wanted to continue those relationships. I expressed I was okay with that, but I wanted to meet them first before he spent one-on-one time with them. He said he respected that. I feel like I should be okay with everything, but I feel terribly anxious in my gut. Some days I just feel horrible, like I can't trust him. I know that his requests were red flags, as are his responses to them. No, are his responses to them green flags? I would love an outsider's point of view. Some reference on him. He hasn't been in a proper relationship in 10 years. He's had a few strings of FWBs and hookups. We both came into the relationship wanting to be monogamous. I'm not really interested in an open relationship. What can I do to start rebuilding that trust? I haven't really told him I have these feelings. I'm open to having a conversation. I just don't know how to start it. Wait a minute. Wait one cotton picking minute here. You've been seeing him for 3 months. We've been talking 5 months. So you officially started dating, I don't know, a couple of months ago, but you haven't really seen him. Because here the stay-at-home order has been in place for 9 weeks. We're in our 10th week now, so it's almost 3 months. So essentially, you haven't really seen him in months, right? So you calling yourself having a boyfriend that you ain't seen in months and just barely got going with, that you barely know because you was only talking to him for a couple 5 months, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is what he's talking about is he on some bullshit. This is a man who's never had a relationship and he's not having one with you either. That was just talk. That's talk. They like to do that because they want to get you to feel like you in a relationship, right? So you won't cheat. So you'll be exclusive to them. They don't have to worry about you getting dicked down by nobody else and, falling in love with them. And you'll be available to them emotionally, physically, you know, mentally, whatever. Your time will be dedicated to them because you think that that's your man. You're going to be, acting like you all in a relationship and you need to be faithful and all this old shit to some motherfucker you barely know and you haven't even seen in months and barely saw months, before that. So I'm going to tell you this. What you do is tell him, look, obviously you and me got a different idea of what it means to be in a relationship. So I'm going to let you go and you go ahead and do all your FWB business that you want to. And I'll check you later like the next lifetime. That's what you do. Because you up there getting anxious and all this shit about some motherfucker you barely know. You just been with him for a couple of months. And he's not even, like sensible and faithful or nothing. You're doing too much. Yeah, just get out. I don't understand. Is it me? I mean, what is it that these girls be trying to save? There's nothing here. I just don't get it. I want to see my FWB. And then he said a couple of different times, I want to see her because I want a boner. And this is your supposed to be girlfriend that you say this to? See, that's what I mean. And she's like, and at first I said, okay, because I wanted to be okay with it. Why would you want to be okay with that? Why? I mean, what part of your brain would register that it's okay for your man to be boning some other woman just because he called you on the phone and told you that's what he was going to do? I'm confused. I don't get it. I'm just, I just don't get it. I'd be like, ooh, how many motherfuckers would he be? Let me think about that. No, I don't know. Okay, so anyway, ooh, head scratcher. Question number 23. This is the last question of the night for What the Fuck Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. In the middle of the Rona. Rona got us all shut down and scared. Rona. How many kids gonna be named Rona? Wait, how many kids you think these people gonna name their daughters Rona for next year? They got pregnant during the shut-in thing. I'm taking bets. Ah, okay, let's move on here. This is from a female in the 30 to 36 age group from the UK. I thought I had met the man of my dreams, swept me off my feet. We are together a year and was planning a future, but I just found out he has a child that he didn't tell me about. How I found out? I accidentally swiped onto a photo on his phone and it showed a screenshot of a bank statement showing the baby's mother's name. I ignored it. 3 months later, no, months later, I brought it up again. Things were so serious between us, and he confessed. He put some exclamation mark. He was apparently scared to tell me because he didn't want to lose me. Wow. He explained he had the child when he was in his late teens with an FWB. He went on to tell me that he has always paid CSA. I guess that child support. Well, I don't know what the A stands for. Somebody from the UK. He and she gets £600 a month. Showed me his bank statements to prove, but wanted nothing to do with the FWB or the child. He had told her from day one he didn't want it. He explained the situation with the FWB was toxic, and she went on to have four more children with four different dads. She had become obsessed with him and was a train wreck. Of course she was crazy. Of course she was. They always say that. I did my digging and found out much of what he said was true. She had been in local news for being arrested for a fight, and her new partner was in jail. Apart from this, she seemed an okay mother. I can't judge. I don't know her. I told him he'd buried his head in the sand for too long. He should make contact with her and see the 10-year-old child. He thought about it and chose not to. I'm left devastated. I haven't shown him how this has hurt me. I've been isolating with a friend. She says I should give him another chance. Not everything is black and white. She made a mistake, but she can see how much he loves me. Seriously? My head's all over the place. What do you think about this? I think you need to mind your business. I done told you all. Men feel about a child the way they feel about the child's mother. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. The men who can separate the two is very rare. It's very rare that you can find a guy who can do that. But the mother's still alive and still in the picture and all that kind of stuff. Then the guy he don't want because he's gonna have to deal with her. He don't want to deal with her. He don't want to deal with nothing that looks like her. He don't want to deal with nothing that came from her. He's done. So what he's doing, at least he's paying the child support though. But see, that's the thing when you decide that you're pregnant and you get pregnant in a situation like that where you barely know a motherfucker, you a FWB and all this stuff, okay, your birth control game is supposed to be on point. If not, and you slip up and a pregnancy happens, okay, well then you're supposed to jump on the nearest abortion table and handle your business. You don't be having a baby by some man in a situation like that. He don't want you and he don't want the baby. Why would you have a child in a situation like that? And be women like, well, I don't want to kill my baby. Bitch, you stupid. Okay, because now you got the baby that's gonna feel rejected its entire life, and you in a fucked up situation, making piss poor choices, having babies by motherfuckers you don't even barely know, don't know nothing about his genetic lineage or nothing. What kind of whack job he might be having, genes he has in his family, insanity, bad spines, poor brains, reading disabilities, learning disabilities. You don't know nothing. You just having a baby. That's all you thinking about. And so then you got a man who hates you. He don't want nothing to do with you. He don't want nothing to do with the child. You bring the child into that environment. The child grows up feeling rejected, abandoned, feelings all hurt, weird. Why don't I have a daddy? And what you gonna tell him? Because I was stupid and I was just fucking some dude and then I got pregnant and I decided to have a baby. That's wrong. That's wrong for the kid. So in a situation like this, young lady, you aren't understanding the dynamics of that kind of situation. I know because I've seen it like hundreds of times. He's done. He don't want nothing to do with that woman. Now, when that little girl's older and she can drive and she can get away from her mother and she can come and see him on her own, take the bus or whatever, they might have a relationship then. But right now, she's so little, she can't go nowhere without her mother's permission, which means he's going to have to either go over to that woman's house and pick her up, or she's going to have to come to his house and drop her off. There's going to be some kind of contact with that whack ass mama, and he's not trying to do that. He told you that the woman was crazy, and you said you agree with it, but you want to insist that he jump himself back into that situation. He's not prepared to do that. He don't want to. He's taking care of his financial obligations, which is more than most of these clowns do. So if anything, you should be happy about that. You trying to press him to have a relationship with his child that he had before he ever met you. That ain't your goddamn business what he does with his baby. That's not your business. As long as he's paying that child support. Now, see, I don't believe in these women getting with these men like, she won't let me see the child, and I don't pay child support. And you side with him? No, 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 no. Because I don't care if he ever lays eyes on the child. That kid needs to eat. It needs to have clothes and shoes. It needs school books and backpacks and jackets and coats. And it needs to have, medical care and stuff like that. You need to pay your child support. It's a mere pittance to what it really costs to raise a kid anyway. So, if the men double the child support, then maybe it might make a difference. But they paying this little measly amount of money. That ain't shit for what it really costs to raise a kid. It barely covers the daycare. So in this case, you overstepping your bounds. You got your nose knee deep in somebody else's business, so you don't need to have it, and getting all in your feelings about some shit that don't involve you. So, if you can't see your way clear to it though, because you one of them emotional bitches, want to be all crying about some shit that don't involve you, then you just leave the dude alone and just going about your business. It don't make no damn sense to me. Is that how much $150 is? It's 600 pounds. I don't know. They're in the UK. What that L shape? Isn't that pounds? Whatever. It's 600 of them. And every pay period, I guess, or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know how much that is in US dollars. But that's what he's paying. He showed her on his, they do the bank withdrawal. And he showed her. And so that's it. That's he's paying. Oh, well, see, I don't know. I don't know 600 pounds. I don't know what that is. But I'm just saying, in a situation like this, she is wrong. She's wrong. She's flatly in the wrong on this thing. So, but it just sounds like she doesn't, she can't respect the guy and the guy's choices, and she's not really thinking about what he would be, the dragging that he would get by re-involving himself with this woman who would then have a tool to beat him over the head, and he's already dealt with her in her dramatics and her problems and stuff. And he's out of it now. He wants to stay out. And I don't blame him. I've had boyfriends like that. I had one that used to call my job. He was like a fucking stalker. And he couldn't reach me, right? So, like how offices, how they have like, sequential numbers. So say my extension was 1901. Well, he would call 1902, 1903, 1904, and to call all these people. Of course, they knew who I was because we in the same department. And he's calling all of them, telling them that I won't talk to him and stuff. So finally, I had to get security and everything. I mean, it was like they was walking me to my car and back. It was just crazy. And he was an absolute nut. It died down after about 2 or 3 months, but I mean, during that time, it was like, oh, that's 735. Okay, between 735 and $750, depending on the day. Okay, thank you. Well, that's a good little amount that he's paying then. That's shoot, 'cause a lot of women here in the U.S. we getting like $100, $200. Some chick told me she get $50 from child support because he got so many kids. I was like, what? $50? You can't even get your hair done with that. And she said, girl, I just put it in the bank for the baby. That's what she said. Just may have a savings account for him. So, anyway, to make a long story short, that's my advice for her. For everyone else, I invite you to take a look on our community wall from the main page of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Debsterism. Hit that community tab And on that wall, you will see the way that you can apply to be on the show. We're still doing another couple of weeks of interviews for my dramatic relationship with a narc. So we still have some slots open for interviews if you want to do that. That is also discussed in the show description of those shows. So in one of the narc shows, you go and scroll down and you'll see the link to sign up, to go and sign up. Um, and that's also on the community wall. I also have there a form. It's an interest form for you to fill out if you're interested in participating in the webinar seminar that I'm going to put on in August. There was going to probably be a 2-day event because I have a lot to say and I don't want people to get, so tired that they get, they lose their energy and get bored and stuff. So I'd rather break it up into 2 parts. But I want to hear what it is that you want to learn about. What are your weak points? What is the thing that you need help with the most? And that's what we're going to work on. It's going to be an interactive thing where I'm going to I'm going to get a guy to come on with me and do some acting out. And so you guys will get a chance to practice setting up boundaries and practice saying no. Because I got a friend who's really good at pressing boundaries. He don't do it with me, but he's good. But I want to have him help me to help you. Okay. So you guys go to the community wall on the top of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Debsterism. Hit the community tab. Look at the thing that talks about the webinar for August. And just click the link and put your name on the interest form, okay? Because those are the people that are going to be able to sign up first, and they will be offered a discount. Those people who are my Patreon subscribers will get a really super, super duper discount. So, I want everybody to know, though, it's going to be a whole bunch of work for me to put together. I'm probably going to have to pay dues, so it can't be free. That event's not going to be free. But, there's still plenty of free advice and free information here all over the channel. We're going headed towards 800 videos here. So, I've been a prolific talker. I got a lot to say. So somewhere on this channel, you should be able to find the answer that you need. Hit the video thing and then do a search of your keyword. And you should be able to pull up all the videos that talk about that subject. And I pretty much have covered everything at least once, okay? So you guys, thank you very much. I'll be putting up some more videos. Actually, I'm going to put up one tonight and one tomorrow of some more interviews that I've done about narcissists. So you'll be getting some more entertainment. We're going to start back with the DNN in June. That's our summertime programming. We'll start back with that on Friday nights again. So we'll have a rocking summer. So I got a lot of good stuff coming up for you guys on the channel. Hit that subscription button on your way out if you haven't already. And make sure you visit the channel community tab and sign up for all that good stuff. This is Deb Cooper, advice columnist for survivingdating.com and host of your lovely channel here on the Debsterism channel. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Love you.